Luke Haynes. I am a quilter, architect turned quilter, and I spend all my days trying to innovate the sort of ideas of quilting and trying to change the industry to keep abreast of the design community. So I'm bringing my background from architecture and design to the world of quilting and high art craft. So the project I'm working on right now is a quilt being made for the American Folk Art Museum in New York City. We've put together a really great project where I'm making an anamorphic perspective because their new space is a little bit long and a little bit shortened, so I'm making a quilt that literally hangs specifically for their wall space, so when you're coming at it from an angle you're able to see the image, whereas if you look at it from the front the image has become a little bit skewed. The process for this quilt is the combination of traditional quilt patterning where I'm making half square triangles and making a really traditional based background, and then putting right on top of it an applique image. So it's this dialogue between kind of quilt tradition and history, and so I'm really pulling from the background of the things that I'm making, and then this kind of modern, contemporary, my own kind of applique, kind of posterized image that I'm making out of and rendering out of fabric. And so what I'll do is I'll make the background from used clothing, then using new bought material for the figure. So it's this kind of separation between the old used and the textures that are there, and then the new kind of bright and shiny. So there's this cool dialogue. It's all fabric, it's all quilt, but it's a kind of bifurcation in concept. And self-portraits are important in the life of plenty of artists' work because it gives you a built-in model. So I mean, you look at art history and you see self-portraits when people are trying a new technique or honing their, you know, drafting skills or painting skills or drawing skills, and really allows them to have a built-in model that doesn't really impact the outside world. There's a kind of branding and an artist persona that goes into making self-portraits, because nowadays in order to create any good branding in the fine arts world, it's all about the legacy of the artist, and the work becomes secondary to the kind of legacy and an idea of the artist themselves. So if I actually incorporate that into my work and say this work is about the visual branding of the Luke Haynes empire, then it's become actually implicit in the work. It does it for me, but it also kind of speaks to that, the concept of artist personas and presenting the visual image of the artist as part of their kind of greater branding notion. Having an entry point through pop art and a little bit of these like digestible concepts in you know, urban art, etc., allows people to take a little bit more time and realize that it's a quilt, because they have such an openness to that type of work, whereas quilting is usually something that's kind of, you know, left for the home, left for grandma, left for this kind of nostalgia, this kind of home thing, this domestic, as opposed to taking some time with it as a piece of artwork. Well, self-portraits are pictures of me, and that's awesome. Fine. It's fine in front of a camera. This is awesome, guys. Is this right? This is where hands go normally, right? This is right?